Alright, this is JT. Yeah, I just wanted to share something. I was just thinking about this. You know, I'm from the X generation, which means I'm 50 years old. I'm in that age range. So when I was a kid, back in the late 70s, early 80s, early to mid 80s, we used to watch a show called Mr. Ed. Fantastic thing about this show was that this Mr. Ed was a horse. A talking horse. A horse that could talk, a horse that could think, a horse that could basically have a conversation with you. It wasn't like a bird, like he just said, Polly want a cracker. No, this horse had real conversations with you. And of course, they did some funny things. And we all thought it was pretty funny, pretty interesting that there's a horse here that's talking. I remember wondering as a child, is there a horse that really talks? Because I never heard of a talking horse. Where did they get this idea from? It must be based on reality somewhere. We don't know. You know, it wasn't until within the last few years that I learned about the story of Balaam. In the Bible, it's all in the Bible. The story of Balaam, where God opens the donkey's mouth. And the donkey spoke to Balaam. Now, then I said, oh, okay, that's where they get the idea from. But see, when I was a kid, I didn't know that, you know. Now, this kind of explains why, you know, this is an example of why this is a forever, perpetual covenant that we have with God. Because we're commanded to teach His words to our children and our children's children forever. This is a perpetual covenant, meaning that it doesn't end. We've seen what happens every time the Israelites broke His covenant, stopped teaching it to their children. You know, their children grow up and they don't know what the truth is. They don't know what to believe. So they don't have no choice but to believe the ideology and that's coming in all around them. You see, only difference is in this day, it's coming at us through TV, through radio, through phones, through all kinds of things, you know. I mean, and if it goes against what's written in the Bible, of course, it's of the world. But we are special people. We're not of the world. We're in the world, but we're not of the world. Now, the reason I brought this up today was because, see, when you don't teach this stuff to your children, when they don't know this stuff, you know, what happens is mockeries end up getting made out of what the truth is. You know, this is what people turn into jokes. When you don't know when you know what the truth is, then you know that the comedy, you know, it's being a mockery of the truth. So people laugh at it. Really, you shouldn't do that. There's a reason, of course, because when you don't teach this to your kids, the kids are finding this thing funny and they grow up believing this thing. If they don't know what the truth is, how are they not supposed to know that the mockery is not the truth? They have no choice but to believe the mockery is the truth unless they are exposed to the truth. So this is like one of those main reasons that the gospel must be taught. And I bet that's not the only one. I bet there are millions of them. That's the only one I can think of right now. So, you know, I just wanted to share that real quick, just to let you know how important it is to keep God's commandments, to pass them on to your children and your children's children. You know, we've all slipped. We've all fallen short of God's glory. He's getting ready to return, and we have to get ready. You know, He's calling on everyone to come back to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He's the one true Lord. So, just wanted to let you know that. So, peace, and I will upload another soon.